Hey arty people, it's Zach from Polygoons here, making this video for a friend of mine who was asking about the NFT space. So I just wanted to do a little video about some aspects of the NFT space that I don't see other videos talking about a whole lot. There are tons of videos about, how to set up a MetaMask account, a MetaMask wallet, I should say, how to mint an NFT on OpenSea, or how to mint an NFT on object.com. Loads of videos about, what the blockchain is and what cryptocurrencies are. What I don't see is kind of like a sort of a more personal consultation type introduction to the NFT space. And that's really what I wanted to provide for my friend Monica, who is very curious. So, hi Monica. I hope you like this video, and I hope you find some of the information helpful. Just wanted to sort of start with your question, and kind of just your statement, which was selling prints of your artwork is hard. And I totally get that as well. Obviously, I'm a painter, and I sell maybe 2 paintings a year kind of thing. So it's slow going, and if you're trying to make a livelihood out of your artwork, it can be very difficult. So the big question is like, should I make some NFTs? And the short answer is yes, totally, absolutely, 100%. And the long answer is it really depends on what you want to do with those NFTs. So NFTs are this thing that everybody is talking about. They are the digital artworks. NFT stands for non-fungible token. So it's a unique digital token that is stored on the blockchain, on a blockchain, I should say, because there are multiple. And the way that token works is it holds its own kind of properties, it holds its own data, and it can be moved around based on transactions that happen to it and with it. So when you create an NFT, and it's called minting, when you mint an NFT, you mint it to your wallet, and you are the owner of that NFT. And then when you put it up for sale, somebody else can make the transaction to buy it. The blockchain handles all of this, handles transferring their funds to your wallet, and then the NFT to their wallet. What's cool also is, like, with respect to the art world, NFTs are actually, pretty awesome for provenance. So you can see exactly who bought it and when and how much it was. You can see if they've listed it for sale again. You can see if it has sold again. You get royalties for those secondary sales, which is, very, very cool, right? And that's all kind of maybe further down later information about how all that works. But all that to say is, like, it's a very cool kind of way to provide your artwork to the world. And I say it kind of depends on what you want to do with it, because you can sort of dive in, right? You can dive right into NFT Twitter. You can start collecting NFTs and interacting with projects and artists in the space and all this kind of stuff, and joining discords and everything. And I'll get into that a little bit, because it's super exciting and kind of necessary, I want to say, for for one level of interaction with NFTs. The other level of interaction, which I think is worth mentioning, and worth considering, is just that they are available to your kind of current client base. And so, you do art fairs and craft shows and all this kind of stuff. And 100% it's going to happen is that people at craft fairs are going to come up to your booth and be looking at your prints and say, oh, these are really cool, awesome, very cool. Hey, like, do you happen to have any NFTs? And so for you to be able to say, yes, here's, my profile, or here's a QR code where you can go and see my NFTs, that's very cool. So even just for that, even if you're not going to really like dive into the hustle of the NFT space, I would say, yeah, like I think visual artists who are in that kind of mode where they are actively, exhibiting and selling their work, they should have NFTs of their work available, because people really like NFTs, and I think that's going to be increasingly something that people are asking for. So that's very cool. The other side of it, yeah, is to just like really dive in, really want to sort of like, make some money with this. And the first thing I would say is like, it's not easy, and it's not going to happen automatically, and it doesn't happen overnight, all these things. But like, it's a lot of work and a lot of like effort. The thing that it really depends on is having people that are going to help you get your stuff out there, and in that way, it's kind of very similar to your traditional art world, where you have friends who talk about your art. You have friends who buy your art and show it off to their friends. You have people who comment and share your stories and stuff on social media and that kind of thing. And so there is a lot of similarity there, but it is, at least right now, still a very different audience. So much so that I actually don't even post about NFTs to Instagram, because my people on Instagram are not really interested in NFTs at all. That will probably change, and I'll start doing it more and more. But for now, at least, it's the audiences are very, very different. So how do you kind of crack in? How do you break into the space? When I came in, the first thing I started doing was just like, Googling Facebook groups and Reddit groups, which is totally the wrong place to do that research, but it led me to a couple of interesting communities and some pretty solid connections. But it is those connections with people, with individual people, that are going to help you gain traction in the space. And so I would recommend looking at artists and projects that are doing things that you connect with, that you think are cool. And so I picked out this project, Mystic Sisterhood, and this is a very cool project. I'll go to their website here so you can see them. They're a collection of 7,777 mystically inclined women. This is a generative project, so what happens with generative projects is it's kind of like a template. One kind of like head type is drawn, and then different traits are kind of like swapped out at random. So it's a cool way to make a lot of NFTs, but it's also a kind of a cool way to like make some of your NFTs rarer, because you'll have some traits which are rarer, which just have a less of a chance to be included in the NFT. So what happens here is you, when you mint one of these Mystic Sisters, it's randomly choosing, the body, the hair, the hat, the item, the costume, and then layering all of those transparent images on top of each other, and then you get your image. And then your image is like, either rare or not so rare based on which traits got randomly chosen. Anyways, this project I think is cool. They are very friendly and welcoming, as are most project owners and NFT artists. I just want to say, like, you don't have to message these ladies here. Most NFT project owners are just like super happy to have new people in their communities, and are very, very welcoming and interested, especially when people are coming in with like real art and like authentic interest in doing something, which is just like it sounds obvious, but so much of the time people like just want to come in and I don't know, try and sell some like really bad or goofy or like stolen artwork. And so when you come into a community with your authentic self, people will enjoy that, and they'll want to be a part of your journey. They'll actually want to help support you, and that's really what it's all about. So the artist for this collection is actually a Toronto artist as well. And so I just mentioned this because it's like, this is an example, right? So I say you don't have to message these people, but to be able to find some type of community connection where you might, have a good connection with, and that's really what it's all about. So that's sort of the starting point. Obviously, you'll want to sort of like get your Twitter game up a bit. That's kind of important in the NFT space. Like I said, Instagram is still not really a great place for promoting NFTs. Who knows? You might have some luck there. But Twitter is kind of like necessary when it comes to NFTs. The other thing that is really huge is Discord. And so you'll want to get a Discord account. And when you find somebody or a project that you like the look of, most different projects will have their own Discord. So you'll be able to find that in like a link tree. So there's the Mystic Sisterhood Discord. Discord is like a social platform for just organizing social interactions and communities. So each sort of separate project will often have their own separate Discord community that you can, go and talk in. It's kind of a lot at first if you're not familiar with this. It's a lot to kind of take in, but you'll grasp it fairly quickly. It's basically just a matter of like going through each of the channels and figuring out what they do. So when you first go to a Discord server, you have to like verify, and so this one says click the crescent moon emoji to accept. So you click it, and then you can see all of the channels here. which I already did, so I already have those. But you can sort of go through and you can see like, okay, there's like a welcome channel, so you could go here and introduce yourself, right? There's other things like support, like if people are having issues with their website or something like that. Official links for the project, an FAQ. There's announcements. There's giveaways. Most of these will have giveaways happening, so that's always cool because you can sometimes, grab some free NFTs. So that's cool, and then what you want to find is like the general chat, or like where people are hanging out and talking most often. And then so you'll see where what these people are talking about. You'll introduce yourself and just start talking about your story. And if it's a community that you connect with and you feel like there's a real good relationship happening, sense of connection, then that's great. Like that's really what it's all about. When you do start minting your artwork and posting about it, then those are the first people you want to go to, right? Is you want to go back to those connections that you made and let them know that you have a new tweet up about your first NFT or whatever, and they will absolutely retweet it and help you get that out there. And so hopefully you can just sort of like build up your network that way. And yeah, I think like this is sort of where I wanted to focus this. There is a lot more to it. There's all the different sort of cryptocurrencies and platforms and blockchains. And there's different things like gas prices and minting fees and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's either you can find all of it on YouTube or it's just a later conversation, which I'm also happy to have with you. But like I said, what I don't see is kind of this like intro and welcoming to the space and like how to start to try and get your footing in the space. So that's what I wanted to focus on today. I'll plan to do another video after maybe I've got some questions back from you. So send me some questions after you watch this, and I'll follow up with hopefully some more answers for you, and we can get you started on your NFT journey. So okay, that's it for now. Take care.